first time I see Joe Calzaghe was obviously in the amateurs. He won 2 ABA titles. I see him win 2 ABA titles, and I was very impressed with him. And I wanted to sign him, but at the time I was told he'd already done a deal with Mickey Duff, so I was a bit slow out of blocks for it. But he told me years later that he hadn't done the deal at that time. Consequently, he turned professional, and I just thought he was a little bit special. And from my point of view, I just didn't feel that he was being promoted enough. And I put a deal to his management about putting, whether they would be interested in me promoting him, and they knocked it back, and they didn't even, according to Joe, didn't discuss it with him. Consequently, I think Joe fired them and made a complaint to the Boxing Board of Control. The Board of Control heard the complaint, and they voided his contract with them. And he then became managed and promoted by me.
I saw his first professional fight the night that Frank Bruno fought Lennox Lewis at the old Cardiff Arms Park. And he was one of the first on the bill that night, and so there was nobody in the arena at all. And of course I've watched him ever since and seen him progress into becoming one of the great fighters in the world today.
Joe became the mandatory contender to Steve Collins, who at that time was pretty high. He'd beaten Nigel Benn twice, he'd beaten Eubanks twice. He was the guy that, he was beating them all. Steve, then we made the fight, and then Steve retired, and we had to make a fight at very short notice for him. And the fight we made at short notice was against Chris Eubank, and Eubanks was a big step up for Joe at that stage of the game. And I remember Terry Lawless or Mickey Duff, one of them, had rang the board and tried to stop the fight from going ahead, saying it was a bad match and he was being rushed, which I didn't feel was the case. Certainly, if he was good enough to fight Steve Collins, he was certainly good enough to fight Chris Eubanks, and I genuinely felt that Joe would have beaten Steve Collins. Maybe Steve thought the same thing, I don't know. But we made the Eubank fight, and that was a cracking fight. I mean, a tremendous fight.
His moment had come, and Joe Calzaghe cut a confident figure as he made his dramatic entrance to the ring.
Lots been made of this young man. He's been spoken of one of the brightest young talents, one of the brightest emerging talents in British boxing. Eubank straight away onto the offensive. Calzaghe going looking for Eubank. Just those 2 defeats that Eubank's experienced in his career. Oh, and he's down! Left hand's caught him. And Eubank knows now that Calzaghe can punch. There's a smile on his face, but he was caught cold. And look again at that left hand. Well, there was no smiling as Eubank hit the canvas. Almost lifted off his feet. More good work from Calzaghe. Eubank trying to match fire with fire, but the weight of punch is with Calzaghe. He takes a good uppercut there from Eubank, but Calzaghe is forcing the pace. Eubank landed some terrific body shots. Calzaghe again will not be denied. He bullies Eubank back. Good left hand again from Calzaghe, and Eubank absorbs it, and a fierce uppercut. How much more has Eubank got left here in this 9th round? This is a big round for Calzaghe. Now in the final round, terrific shot from Calzaghe, and Eubank doesn't like it, but he's getting the standing count. The crowd don't like it. Eubank certainly thought that he shouldn't have been counted there, but he took that left hand, and did he just touch down with the right glove? I think he did. Well, closing seconds of the 12th round, and what a performance this has been from Joe Calzaghe. Big uppercut from Eubank in the closing seconds, but Calzaghe, the pride of Wales, surely, although Eubank raises his glove, surely Calzaghe is going to get this title. The crowd are on their feet, and a new star of British boxing has been born tonight. A huge crowd in Sheffield has witnessed this. But really, he bossed that fight pretty much all the way through.
For the winner, who is now WBO Super Middleweight Champion of the World, Joe Calzaghe.
Calzaghe had pulled it off in style and had arrived on the world stage with a bang.
That night, he came of age, if you like, as a fighter, because he boxed beautifully, and Eubank, even though maybe he was past his best, he was still a formidable champion. And when he won the title from Eubank, then you thought, we've got something here.
And when he beat Eubanks, I mean, that was a tremendous performance beating Eubanks. I mean, he had Eubanks down in the first round, and he got caught in the last round with a tremendous punch by Eubanks. You know, and that's the one thing about Joe Calzaghe, he had a good chin.